and welcome. My name is Brittany and I'm a professional dancer. I'm not a doctor, so this is not doctor advice, but I'm here for you in case you ever get lower back pain. So this is a quick video to give you 3 exercises to help out with some of that lower back pain. We're going to do 2 stretches and a strengthen, and I will tell you why. This is a very slow-paced video, so in case you're worried you have to get up and go put on your gym clothes, you're going to start sweating, that's not what we're doing. We're just trying to relieve some of that back pain. So the very first thing we need to do is just be aware of our body, be aware of our spine. So anytime that we're out of alignment, where our spine isn't in line, or if we have bad posture or our shoulders rolling forward, anytime, which is many times in the day, we're going to be putting pressure in that lower back here. So what we're going to want to talk about today is some engagement through the abdominals so that we are supporting our lower back because it is on the opposite side of our back, right? And then also just the alignment of the vertebrae. So the very first thing I want you to do is stand parallel toes, and knees are going to be right over those toes. And I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see me. The head, or standing up tall, shoulders back and down. In fact, even squeeze your tushy a little bit. That way we're engaging our abs, even though we're meant to stretch our back, but we're not just stretching like a limp noodle. It's called active stretching, which means we're supporting our lower belly, which then can support our back. So squeeze your tushy, stand up tall, and all I want you to do is we're going to roll through the spine. So the head is going to roll down, going one vertebrae at a time. And you can have soft knees. And we're just taking a pause right here, relaxed forward, soft knees, trying to make sure those shoulders are pressed down away from the ears. And then now I bet we've already let our belly come out. So feel free to scoop in that belly, pull the belly button into the backbone to support our abdominals. And we're just curving that lower spine right here. So you might feel kind of straight like this. If that's the case, we do want to tuck that tushy under so that our pelvis is going straight down and we are leaning forward. So I'm going to keep talking, but if you already feel like you are good in the right place, just stay there. No need to look up and crank your neck up at the camera. We are staying in this position until I say otherwise. So sit for practice. Let's come up. So pulling in the belly button and raising up to a full stand of just nice posture. See, I told you we are starting pretty basic, but we're already engaging. So engage your tushy again, standing parallel, and it should be pretty calming, okay? So take a nice breath in and a breath out, exhale, and we're going to start at the top of the forehead, rolling down. It's called rolling through our spine. Softness in the knees, which just means our knees are bent a little bit. Knees are bent, shoulders are down away from the ears, just so we're not putting tension into that neck. And we're relaxing here. I have already forgotten about my belly, so in case you're just like me and we forgot to support those lower abs, feel free to pull that belly button now into your lower spine. Pull that belly in so that we are strengthening while we're stretching. And also, if we're having lower back pain, it is very likely that we're not always using our abs to our best ability. So might as well start here, just in a little stretch forward. Maybe if you haven't stretched in a long time, maybe it's been years since you've stretched, or maybe we're just getting kind of out of shape. Right here, your back might already be kind of stiff. This might not be as rounded. You might be kind of more here. Or maybe you've had an injury, and we do want to work on creating that mobility in the body, because the stiffer we get, well, the stiffer you're going to feel and the more pain you're going to have throughout your body. So if you feel like you can't go that deep in it, that's okay. We're just getting started. We're starting to try to work through the bones, work through the spine, and allow it to start to stretch again. Okay, we're not being aggressive. All right, let's roll up one more time, starting with the belly, engaging through the booty, and standing tall. Again, one more time, and then we're going to hold it just like we've been doing. So we're starting at the forehead. Make sure if you already went down like this, you come back up and fix the transition, okay? fix how we get into the movement. So it's about the journey and then sustaining while we're in the movement. So starting with the top of the head, we're rolling down, chin into the chest, softness in the knees, belly button in, and the hips are dropping straight down into the ground. Perhaps you want to take it a little bit further. That's fine. But if we take it too much further and we straighten the backs of our legs, now we're doing something completely different. Now we're stretching the backs of our hamstrings, the backs of our legs, which is also wonderful to do. But for today's purposes, we are working on that lower back, belly button in. So this is where we want to be. If we keep going forward, we'll no longer feel that in our back. We're right here and moving. Every time we go through the spine, we are going up and down through those vertebrae. And again, pull that belly button into your backbone. We're going to roll up. And squeeze your tushy as you arrive at the top. Yeah, so we're toning while we're getting a little stretch right here, getting a little mobility. It might be a little sore from that. Mine's a little sore because we're kind of down there a long time and we're getting in between those vertebrae. Next, we're going to move down to the floor. You can start to sit down on your booty, or if that is not an option for you, if you need to be standing, or let's say you're sitting in a chair and you don't feel like getting on your back, what we're going to do is we're going to do a piriformis stretch. Piriformis, or think like the shape of the number 4. So we're going to cross one leg over our thigh, and we're going to take a stretch here for a side joint into the outside of the leg. So if you're in a chair, you can just cross that leg over top and stretch there, or join us stand on the floor. Okay, excellent. And we are going to be remaining on the ground for the rest of the lesson. So in case you were second guessing it, come on down. We're going to lay on our back. You don't have to move quickly. Lay on your back. I actually moved my carpet because it's dark color and I didn't want to blend into it. But I would put a rug there, or I would go on a mat. Okay, so you're laying on your back. Remember, this is we are helping support our lower back, stretching out that spine. So the first thing I want you to do is just bring your knees into your chest, okay? Nothing aggressive. And this is just for you. Feel your spine into the floor. Now it's probably flattened to the ground. It's not going to be flattened when we're here because our back has an arch in it because our booty's there, right? But when you pull your knees into your chest, the lower back flattens to the ground. Here, you can press your spine flat into the ground, or if you pull your knees into your chest more, your hips might come up, rounding the lower spine. Okay? This is just a little feel good. This is our transition into our next exercise. All right. You're going to put both your feet on the ground again. We're going to lift one leg. Doesn't matter which one because we're going to do both. Lift one leg and we're going to turn it out at the ankle. Place that ankle on the opposing knee. And all we're going to do is we're going to lift that bottom knee. Okay? There are some different variations here depending on your body and kind of just what your mobility is. So if you have a lot of mobility, you can go through the leg, grab underneath the hamstring, and pull it into your chest. If that is just not going to happen, you can stay right here on the ground and just open up the leg. But the aim is to feel a stretch on the lifted leg here, behind the leg, into the SI joint. So it wraps all the way around. Okay, so now get into your comfortable position and then I'll keep talking to you. So I'm going to pull mine up. Another option, if you are really feeling it, you can extend through the top there, but that is much more aggressive. I'm going to go through the legs here. And while we're here, we're doing this stretch because we sit so many hours in the day, so where we're always in this position. So this does give us a little release. Okay, so we have the first side up right now. And if you're not feeling any pull on the outside of the leg here, then all we need to do is give it a little bit more turnout. You might be a little bit too cross-legged, so it might be pinching too much in this crevice. So just give it a little more turnout if you can. If it really, really hurts in another position I'm not talking about, not really, really hurts, but if it's really stretching, excuse me, then that's okay too. It just means that spot for you really needs to get stretched out, and that's perfectly fine. But that means you probably should do this a bit longer and keep stretching through that. Okay. And we're relaxing, just knowing that we're doing something good for our body, something good for our back. Now, while you're here, feel free to pull that belly button into your backbone. Even though we're stretching the outside of the leg, here, we can always think about our strength at the same time. So we pull that belly button in, and now it's like we're doing 10 crunches without even having to do crunches. Okay, good. Let's shake it out. Come out of it nice and slow. This is not quick moving. This is to avoid or to help an injury. So we don't want to be moving quickly here or sharply into any areas that are not warm. Okay, we're going to lift the second leg. Okay, so 2 feet are planted. Lift your second leg. You want to give it a hug before you turn it out. Remember, we're going to turn it out and rest the side of the ankle on the opposite leg. And right here, if this is good for you, just chill right here and live in this moment. If you need a little bit more, feel free to lift that bottom leg. Good. Now, when you're ready for more, grab underneath that leg. And you can use the elbow closest to the turned out leg to kind of push that open a little bit. Use your arms to help you in your stretching. Now, while we're here, I'm just rolling out my ankles for the fun of it. Sorry, I haven't mentioned that, but it just feels good. You know, you get a little twist, little snap, crackle, pop. Good. Pull that belly button in again so that we are engaging our lower abs. Good. Very good. And if you are ready, you can, as we're in a stretch, our body gets used to it. So we can go deeper and deeper into the stretch. I'm just going to extend the other leg, make it a little bit more aggressive before we finish up here on the second side. Yes. We're still thinking about that lower back because that is our focus today. All right. We're going to lower down, coming out of it slowly. Now, we've been talking, I've been encouraging you to engage your abdominals while we've been doing these stretches. Come out of it nice and slow. Next, we're going to go up onto our hands and knees. A lot of times, in my family, we call it shopper's back. When we've been walking around the mall, you've been shopping and you're comfortable. You're not thinking about flexing your muscles and your exercising workouts. You're thinking about what you're buying and you're trying on your clothes and you're walking on the cement. And then usually we sway our back in those situations. Again, let's just call it gravity, putting on the tops of our hips and pushing that into the ground where we start to get shopper's back because we're not engaging our abs. We're not supporting our lower back. So you can even see it physically. We're here or here. And posture is what is going to continuously help you feel better, at least the best we possibly can. Okay? So next we're going to go into a little abdominal exercise. This is very mild. I have a wrist injury, so we're not going to put a lot of weight on the hands. We're not going to lay on our back and do crunches for 20 minutes. It's not where we're at today. Right now, we're just trying to identify and focus and feel what maybe is hurting and what can get a little deeper stretch. I just want to go on our hands and knees, and we're going to make a box, okay? So we don't want to be here or here. We're just making a box. Our shoulders are right over our hands, and our knees are right underneath our hips. Okay, see my square here? The next thing that we want to do is we also want our back to be in a straight line. Often when we're here, we just chill, we relax. But that's what we're actually going to try to control. So we're just going to pull our rib cage in, or just think about trying to make a flat back. The other thing is when we're here on our knees, you might be thinking, ow, this hurts my knees. This is uncomfortable. Sure, it does. Mine too. But we're not going to be here that long. And we're just thinking about engaging. We're thinking about pulling these ab muscles together. Think you're going to pull them together and then tie it in a little knot, each one. But 6 laces right there. And tie from the bottom up. And the more you pull into your abdominals, the less weight you're going to be resting on your knees because we're pulling up and we're being engaged through the body. So we're on our hands and knees. Make sure you're still in your box and you're not here or here. If you've come out of it, come back into it. And I just want you to hold it for 8 seconds. With each second, I want you to think you are pulling those abdominals together. Here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Sit back on your knees. Relax. Shake it out. We're going to do it one more time while we're taking a little rest from our hands and our knees. I just want to remind you that there's a difference between stretching pain and real pain. If you're having real pain in anything we're doing where it's shooting pains or where it makes you go, whoa, then that is especially if you're like at home alone without a professional next to you, then I would just come out of that or do it less. Okay, because all of our bodies are different. Everybody has different injuries and quirks. So listen to your body, do what you need to do, but also in a way where you can still push yourself. So let's do it again. Here we go. We're going to lace up our belly. So we have 6, 7, 8. Engage those lower abs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're not going to come out of it yet. Hold it for 1 second. Can you tuck your toes this way? Tuck your toes under. So you might get a little stretch there at the bottoms of the feet. And while we're stretching our tops of our toes, we're still thinking about pulling our belly button in. So pulling the belly in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squeeze your tushy. 7, 8. Also, while you're there, if you can think about squeezing your booty together, that would be great. One more thing, if you still have juice in you, I want you to cross your heart with your right hand and down. Belly in. Left hand and down. Again. Squeeze your tushy and down. Belly in. 4 more. And then we're done. And 4. Squeeze your tushy and your belly. Down. Isolating the muscles. And 3. And down. And 2. And down. Last time. 1. And down. There you go. Come out of it nice and slowly. Feel the roundness of the spine. I hope that I'm sorry to hear you having any lower back pains at all, but I'm glad you're here with me. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, happy stretching.